Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation, the channel that brings you your team every single day, the channel that brings you your team for absolutely nothing, all the latest news, views, updates from Glasgow Rangers. All you need to do is click that sub and ring that notification bell as we move ever closer to our target of getting to 3,000 subs by the end of August. Guys, please keep hitting that sub. I think we're 32, 33 away at time of recording, so please continue to hit that sub. Fantastic live stream last night of the game against Servette. Please feel free to check that out if you wish to. Some fantastic comments in the live chat, certainly. Up to 5,000 views now. It's absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for your support. Well, obviously, we're going to look back at the game in this morning, this afternoon, or this evening's video, depending on obviously when you're watching it. A difficult game to assess, really, a very difficult game to assess. And I'll explain that in a moment. We're also going to look as well at a brother defender who has been linked with a move to Rangers. Obviously, centre-back is a position that seems to be a position of need for Rangers. Well, I thought that Suter and Goldson did do very well tonight for Rangers and did marshal the defence very well, you know, in terms of the fact that the only goal for Servette came from the penalty spot. Jack Butland had a few saves to make, but, you know, nothing in particular that was particularly threatening. I thought Connor and John did a very good job tonight. But I think it's obviously, you know, the depth behind Connor and John is the concern. And we've got a possible defender there that has been linked with a move to Rangers, and it seems that Rangers are very interested in uniting brothers. Please obviously hang on for a bit in the video, and that will be coming up in a short while. Well, look, we looked at I think all of us were pretty happy with when the team was announced. I think possibly the only change that a few of us might have made was the use, was perhaps playing Cifuentes in place of Ryan Jack. I think that might have been the only change we would have made. Maybe some of us may have played Dujon Sterling ahead of Borna Barisic, although on the night I actually thought, I've criticised Borna on multiple occasions and called him out on multiple occasions. I actually thought Borna had quite a good game tonight. Best I've seen him play in a long while for Rangers. Particularly going forward again, he looked very, very good indeed. Back four, Tavernier, Suter, Goldson and Barisic. Midfield three, Jack, Raskin and Camel. I thought all three had a decent game tonight. Ryan Jack in particular, I was very impressed with. I thought he shielded the back four very well, dropped in and covered very well. I think it gave that old adage that whenever Ryan plays, Rangers look a better team because he allows the other midfielders to go and express themselves. And certainly Todd Cantwell seemed to benefit from that tonight. Todd, I thought, had a very good game tonight. Still not back to his best, but certainly had a good game tonight, in my opinion. Front three were Lammers, Dessers and Danilo. It seemed to me that Lammers was pulling, well, wherever he wanted. Danilo was more to the left and Dessers kind of middle and right, kind of. I don't know, that seemed to be it. They started, I think they still need time to gel. They didn't look amazing going forward. I thought Danilo struggled at times to get up to the pace of the game, but he's hardly worked with his teammates, and I think he did okay. He wasn't brilliant, he wasn't terrible. I think he did all right, and I think that's just like testimony, like I said, to the fact that he hasn't had a lot of time to work with his teammates. Sergio Dessers got his goal, very lucky goal in the end. We'll talk about that, but I thought Dessers was all right, not brilliant. Just okay. Lammers, I thought, were pretty awful, to be honest with you. That sitter that he missed was just unforgivable for me. And we'll talk a bit about player ratings as well as this video goes on. Well, it's, you know what? Why is it difficult to... Now, the first comment I made on this video, guys, was it's difficult to assess that game. And you're all saying, why is it difficult to assess? We won the game, so we've won the game. Fantastic. Well done, Rangers. Yeah, we did win the game. 2-1, a win's a win. That's a positive. We've got to look for positives. I think, look, there's been an awful lot of negativity surrounding the team over the last 48, 24, 72 hours, whatever it was now since Saturday. We kind of all blurred into one, hasn't it? But, there has been a lot of negativity towards the team. And look, it's a win. Win's a win. Wins breed confidence. That's one thing. I think, that's something we've got to take from this. Let's I'm not going to say everything's rosy in the garden. Look, I'm not going to sit here. You know me. I'm very honest about what I think of the team. And if someone needs calling out, I'll call them out. If someone has played well, I'll say they've played well. And even if it's someone I've in the past called out, I'll, praise them if they deserve that praise. I thought Rangers started incredibly well tonight. The first 20, 25 minutes, the tempo was excellent. The passing was excellent. There was lots of 1 and 2 touch stuff. I thought they put Servette under a tremendous amount of pressure. And, to be 2-0 up after that 20-25 minutes was absolutely superb. And I thought, the penalty was a penalty. I know we've got some ridiculous Celtic fans saying it was a dive again, but if you watch it back, it was a pretty horrific tackle on Cantwell that led to James Tavernier's penalty. That 3 words that send the opposite side of the city into meltdown, into a implosion. Penalty to Rangers. Then obviously a great cross from Borna Barisic, brilliantly across the 6-yard box. That's where you put them, you skim them along there, and it's either going to go in off a striker or a defender, or the keeper's going to have to pull off a worldie. And it hits Dessers and goal goes in. And it is to be hoped that perhaps that lucky deflection off Dessers may start his career off, may start his goal scoring off with the club. Although other times I thought he did lack that sharpness still and didn't look particularly great at times. Rangers created a whole host of other chances. We had a Raskin shot that went wide. Lammers absolutely fluffed a chance. I mean, yes, at the time the flag went up, but I think he puts that in. It goes to a VAR check. I think obviously it's allowed. You watch the highlight, watch the replay back, and there's no way that was offside. So realistically, it should have been 3-4 by half time. But then Searle Dessers goes and does the most. I honestly do not know what the boy was thinking. To stick his arm out in that situation in the penalty box is just asking for trouble. You should know by now as a professional footballer, the moment you raise your arm or push your arm out in the box and a ball hits it, you're going to give away a penalty. And I really don't know what was going through the boy's mind when he did that. It led to letting Servette back in the game, and I think changed the game. Second half momentum. Servette started the half well. They looked more organised. They did everything you should do as an away team going away to play a British side. The British sides are very good at playing up-tempo, quick, fast-attacking, physical football. That's what British sides do. But Servette did everything in their power to disrupt, to fall over, to slow the game down, in that second period. And look, I'm not going to criticise them for it because it worked. And, you would do the same if that would help you get a result. Obviously, they went down to 10 men and we couldn't capitalise on that, which is just not good enough. The fact that they had 10 men for more than 30 minutes of that game it's unforgivable that we could not put another chance in the back of the net. And, Michael Beale, I think, talked about that. He talked about the fact that they created chances, but just weren't decisive enough in front of goal. And it kind of seems to me like a kind of Groundhog Day-esque kind of statement, doesn't it? It's something that he was saying last season. It was something that, he continues to say this season. And given the fact we spent so much money on players, is it right that we're still saying this? Yes, look, I get the whole front three need time to gel. It's going to take time for them to bed in. I suppose that is true. And there are encouraging signs tonight. I think that is the one thing we've got to take. Like I said, we've got to kind of look for the positives in this, because if we don't, it will drive ourselves mental. Look, a win's a win. Some good performances. The front three, again, it's another game. It's another chance to work together. It's another chance to start to develop those relationships. And if we look at the match stats now, and actually look at what the teams did. Now, if we look obviously at this is an attacking stat for Rangers. This is the attacking stats. Rangers had a total of 22 shots. 8 of those were on target. 8 of those were off target. I don't know what happened to the other 6 chances. They were blocked. There we go. 6 shots were blocked. So 22 total shots in the game. Servette had 8, 4 on target, 2 off target, and 2 shots blocked as well. Now that's decent. 22 chances to score a goal, create, or 22 shots taken, which is good to be taking that many shots. 8 of those on target. You realistically need to be putting, more than 2 of those away. When you take the penalty out, you need to be putting more than 1 of those into the back of the net. So that is obviously a concern for definite. Now let's look at a few more stats to do with the game tonight. Look at general play stats. Generally, Rangers had 69% of. Where's that gone? There we go. 69% of possession to Servette's 31. Pass accuracy by Rangers 83. Servette's was 65%. Total passes 614 for Rangers, 283 for Servette. What else have we got there? We've got accurate passes 514. So only 100 of Rangers passes weren't accurate. Servette were 185 out of 283. Rangers created what is termed as 3 big chances and missed 1 big chance. I mean, obviously the penalties must be put down as a big chance. Servette had one, didn't miss any, which again was their penalty. Offsides 2 against 1, corners 2 against 5. General stats there, some more general stats there. 17 fouls to 10, 2 yellow cards for Rangers, and none for Servette, 1 red card. It's a bit surprising because there was some cynical tackling by some of the Servette players. Offsides, 2 by Rangers, 1 by Servette. There wasn't a great deal of offsides in the game, and there are the corner stats as well. Overall, like I said, it's a strange performance. If you break it down into parts, the first 20, 25 minutes, very good. Second part of the half, we kind of let them back into it a little bit, took our foot off the pedal, and they came back into the game. We didn't carry that intensity through. Now, whether that was because the players tired, I don't know, but there was a lack of intensity for me throughout the rest of the game. And things in the second half, it just got a bit slow, and they seemed to be trying to thread balls through the tightest and the smallest of spots, and it just didn't work for me. At the end of the day, it could have been better. It could have been a lot better. A win's a win. I'll take the win. 2-1. Not the best. Could it have been more? Yes, I think it probably could have been more. At the end of the day, is 2-1 enough to get us through to the next round? That's a question, that's going to be answered in a week's time. Servette seemed over the moon with the result, to be honest with you. The way their fans and players were celebrating at the end of the game, you'd have thought they've won. There was definitely, for me, they seemed very happy with that result. And I think you've got to obviously think as well that they were missing 6 to 7 of their starting players. Crivelli should be back next week, and Túnez should be back next week. So you're going to be facing an awful lot stronger Servette team than we faced this week. And, realistically, what we put out there was our strongest team. So, you're probably going to see a different Rangers out there, and more defensive Rangers. You may even see Lundstrom and Raskin again, or Lundstrom and Jack with Raskin, which we don't want to see John Lundstrom anywhere near this team ever again. But that's what you might see. You know how Michael Beale works. It's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be a hard game out there. I don't think Servette are going to be any pushovers. They are a clever team. They're not a fantastic team. Don't get me wrong, but they're clever. They're good at what they do. They use what they've got very sensibly. And like I said, they were missing an awful lot of players tonight. That is obviously one slight worry going into next week. Ratings wise, this is how I rated the players. Jack Butland, I spelled wrong. I do apologise for that. 7. I thought Butland was solid tonight. Did a very good job. Can't be blamed for the penalty. Tav, I thought was poor. I thought he was really poor again. Defensively, they got a lot of joy. I mean, you look at other ratings and people are giving him 6s and 7s because he was, he got the penalty and he put some decent crosses in. But realistically, he's there to defend, and he looked slow. He looked spent at the end of the game. Some of the crosses he put in were awful, but more importantly, they seem to get a lot of joy down their left-hand side again. And again, that's Tav's side, and it's look. I'd love to see Dujon Sterling given a chance. I really would. Look, I like Tav. I've loved what he's done for the club, but I'm rapidly falling out of love with Tav because, to me, his defensive skills are just not good enough. Suit and Goldson, 6 out of 10. I thought solid as a rock. Not spectacular, not amazing, not terrible. Solid as a rock. Borna Barisic, 7. I thought Borna did very well tonight. I'm not a big Borna fan, you know that, but I thought he was good, both at the back and also going forward. And some of his crosses today actually were back on the money as well. So well done to Borna. Ryan Jack, I gave 8 out of 10 to. I thought Ryan was brilliant tonight. I thought he came in, he stabilized the team, he enabled them to go and play. He also joined in attacks at times. He thrust forward. He controlled the game very well indeed. Raskin, 7 out of 10. I thought he did well again tonight. He worked hard. He tried. He had a couple of shots. He had that go forward. And there was one point in the second half, I don't know if you saw it, where he stopped and he passed the ball back. And then he turned again to the forwards and he was giving them absolute pelters for the fact that they hadn't moved for him and they weren't moving. They were all stood still. And I think he was really frustrated, to be perfectly honest with you. Cantwell, I thought, was great tonight. It's not back to his best, don't get me wrong. 8 out of 10. I thought he was very good indeed, though. And he has to play every single game that he's fit for. He really does. Danilo, 6. Dessa, 6. Again, okay. Not terrible. Not brilliant. Did okay. Did all right. Sam Lammers, 5. I thought Lammers was awful again tonight. I just, he had those. Yes, I know their keeper pulled off a couple of worldies. A couple of saves from Lammers, that chance that he managed to turn round the post, and the other one from across. Yeah, I know he pulled out. Well, actually, that was Dessa's, wasn't it? But but I just thought that miss. He puts that in the back of the net. Look, He sleeps down to the net. Yes, it is initially ruled out for offside, but like I said, if VAR checks it, it's given. And I just think that could that miss come back to haunt us? Could that be a situation where, it actually comes back to sting us in the tail? It could be, couldn't it? It definitely could be. As for the subs, I thought Seaman was fairly awful when he came, and he had that one shot where he just kicked it straight at the goalkeeper. 5. I thought Cifuentes looked good when he came on. He ran around, he got stuck in, and considering he hasn't had much time to work with the team, I'd give him a 6. Dow 5, didn't really contribute a lot when he came on. A couple of loose balls as well. And Hadji and Wright, I just can't rate because of the fact that they came on with 2 minutes to go. I mean, you've got to argue coming on with 2 minutes to go, what is the earthly point of that? I'll be honest with you, the substitutions tonight really confused me. Why wait again till 65, 68 minutes to make a change? Why not make a change earlier than that if it's not working, if you're not putting a breakthrough, if they're getting back, they're getting set and you're not getting through them? I don't understand why there was not an earlier change made. The other change I didn't get as well is why he brought on why he takes off all his strikers. We finished the game with not a single forward player on the pitch. Danilo was off, Lammers was off, and Dessers was off. Why, when you're trying to get a third goal, do you take off all your strikers? To me, it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. But Michael Beale's substitutions to me are slightly weird. And, you can kind of, as an opposition manager, you'd be able to say, look, okay, we're going to get to 60, 65 minutes, and then we'll make our first changes. Then around about 75, 80 minutes, we'll make another change. And then with about 1 or 2 minutes to go, he'll make another change. It's predictable. Michael Beale needs to vary his substitutions. He needs to vary the times he makes them, and he needs to do it at the right time. His game management, I think, is a little off. Maybe that's what it could be down to. Overall, you've got to be like I said, you've got to be pleased. A win's a win, but it is certainly going to be a tough ask in a week's time over in Servette. Well, let's finish it off by talking about a defender who has been linked with a move to Rangers. Now, Rangers obviously have targeted are targeting the defensive position and bringing in a defender. That is the talk that is going on at this moment in time. Now, one defender who seemingly is interesting Rangers is the brother of John Souttar, who currently plays for Leicester. Yes, that's right. Rangers could be seeking to follow bloodlines and maybe bring in Harry Souttar. This is a story that's been going around social media today that Rangers are very interested in Souttar. They're lining up a bid for him, and they're interested in reuniting him with his brother. Now, Harry Souttar was born in Aberdeen in Scotland. He's 6'6". He's a big old unit. Centre back. He plays for Leicester, like I said. He did spend his time in his youth career with that lot from across the city, but I suppose we can forgive him that. He started his actual Scottish career at Dundee United, where he made 2 appearances, scoring 1 goal before moving to Stoke City in 2016-2023, making 61 appearances and scoring a solitary goal. He's also had spells on loan at Ross County and Fleetwood, and he's been with Leicester since 2023. He's also an Australian international, despite the fact that his brother is Scottish and plays for the Scotland national team. Harry Souttar plays for Australia. He switched to represent Australia after representing Scotland at youth level, and he has 16 Scottish caps and Australian caps, and scored 6 goals. But this does seem to be an interesting link. Souttar is a big physical centre half, and could they be seeking to reunite the brothers? Maybe we could have the Souttar brothers playing at centre half for Rangers, or maybe this is just media clickbait and media mischief, given the fact, obviously, that he is John's brother. But that does seem to be a link that is currently going around. But look, no matter what you think of that link or whatever, you've kind of got to, you've got to kind of say that, yes, we do need a new centre-back. We do need someone to back up Goldson and Souttar. There is a real lack of quality there. Yes, there is a lot of players there. There is a lot of strength there, but there is no quality strength there. And I think someone like Harry Souttar could definitely be that quality strength. Anyway, I'd love to know what you thought of the performance last night. What are your takes on the game and your hopes for the second leg in a week's time in Servette? Please remember to continue to subscribe to the channel to help us build towards that massive 3K sub target that we have. Also, as well, 2 things I need you to always do for me. Number 1, smash the like. And number 2, remember always, we are the